Holla ballers and a bro fist to you all. It is of course Wednesday. Wednesday is workshop day where I get to flex my mental muscles and help you glorious people out. Yeah, I like workshops. I love the workshops. My favourite thing next to Drama Friday. But Drama Friday is kind of relaxed. This is the opposite. This is like, the preacher must pay attention, must learn the ways, must use all this years upon years upon years of World of Warcraft knowledge to try and help you guys become better players. Good shit. Alternatively, you can go to some other streamers and pay £15 a training session. Derp. Dirt style. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. So, we had some issues today. I fried my graphics card today. Apparently you can't run 5 sessions of WoW at once and fraps them. Who knew, right? And it got hot and now it doesn't work. But it's okay. I had a spare. A minor note, quality of the videos may drop a little bit over the next week or so until I replace it. Just a smidge. You shouldn't really notice it. Probably no shadows and stuff. It's got a 500 in there now. It'll be okay. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Workshop Wednesday. Workshop Wednesday is going to be themed today around the use of add-ons that suck. Add-ons that some of you are using because I use it, but using it in the wrong way. Wrong way. Oh, by the way, immediately after the daily, not only am I streaming, but the PvP vanilla video will release. It's uploaded, it's processed, it's 1080, it's got a thumbnail. All I have to do is press that sweet, sweet button, and then it's out of there. So, on with Workshop Wednesday. We're going to be looking at 3 workshops. We're going to be looking at a Guardian Druid. I kind of gave them some shit recently. Only seems fair that we try and do it better. That we try and look at the Guardian Druid. And then we're going to look at a Frost Mage and a Hunter. We're also going to look at, because... Where are you? Where are you? I know you're there. I see you. I see you. You're at the back, but I see you. You're over there. Where are you? Yeah, you. You there. Behind the law. You've died on the Durumu maze, haven't you? You there. You're the guy. I know who you are. You've died on that maze. You died on it. Well, today we're going to look at how you don't die to the Durumu maze. No, wait, it wasn't me. No, it wasn't me. Oh, God. It wasn't me. He can see me. He can see me. How did you... Come at me, bro. Do you even come at me? Do you even come at me? Yeah, dying to the Durumu phase. Oh, no. Disintegration beam. How do I disintegration beam? We're going to look at it today. It's really easy. It is. And when you see it, it's one of them things that when it happens and you don't know how to deal with it, you like panic, set yourself on fire instantly, right? I don't know how to deal with this. Burn alive. That kind of situation. When you see how you do it, it's retardedly easy. It's retardedly easy. So it's all good. It's all good. We're going to look at that today. Right. First of all, we're going to do the Guardian Druid. The Guardian Druid, who submitted to me today, is actively checking World of Logs. Ting! 2 thumbs fresh, right? 2 thumbs up for that. Appreciate it. Checking his World of Logs. But noticing, taking loads more damage. Which sucks. You're a good player because you're checking your World of Logs and noticing that everybody else in the same gear, who's also a Guardian Druid, takes way less damage. Shit. So I'm doing something wrong, but I don't know what it is. Don't know what it is. So we're going to do the first things first. I'm going to check .ui. Alright. Okay, good. .flv. Oh! Tell me about the UI, people. That's what I want to know. He starts pulling here. Off we go. Talk to me about the UI. Talk to me, goose. Talk to me, goose. Clean and crisp. Oh, Toto the dog, you are a sexual beast. A sexual beast. Oh, shit. It's a shit UI. I hate it. Good tell me whens. Are they? Are they good tell me whens? Are they good tell me whens? What is that tell me when? Okay, let's pause there before we continue on. What is this tell me when telling me? What is it telling me? What is this telling me? It's too big, big ass. What is it telling me? Timers are up. Yes, savage defense. Obviously, if you're a druid, you know it is savage. Yay! More than 60 rage. This is telling us the uber useful information that we have rage. It's not the best way to use this, okay? You've got the idea in principle. I just want to point this out. This kind of leads you to a problem. Is that you have the idea in principle, but what I would like to see you change that to, instead of telling me, hey, I can press Savage Defense now. Cool. Change it to, hey, Savage Defense is about to run out. Guardian Druid can almost keep Savage Defense up 100% of the time. Switch that out. Switch that out to just show you how long your Savage Defense lasts and how long it's got left. Because what we do find in this video is that Savage Defense overlaps a lot. Which means it's got like 4 seconds left. We're pressing it again. Which just means we're losing time and stuff like that. It sucks. Waste of rage. Overall, though, I quite like it. Mangle is really important. I would maybe like to see just a brief warning that Mangle is about to come off cooldown. It's always kind of nice to have. Just to see that going on. Because Mangle is our big rage generator. Kind of. Not really for a Guardian Druid, but it's still really important. Just to let us know it's about to come off cooldown. I'm sure we can make these just a smidge smaller, can't we? Especially so it's not overriding what the boss is about to do. Pretty cool. You'll notice that we have Symbiosis on our DK. So we've picked up a lovely Bone Shield. Which is always nice to see. Always nice to see. So, UI is pretty fresh. I like it. It's pretty good. What is lacking from the UI, though? Something is overwhelmingly lacking. Enemy cast bar? No, it's there. It's there. Tits, thank you. Oh, we've got Omen. No, you guys are noobs, man. Look. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, have mercy on my soul. We have Omen. Omen is there. It's here. We've got Omen. It's actually just the rest of his cooldown. The rest of his cooldowns, the important ones. Guardian Druids have this amazing skill of the way they work. I'm not saying it's the best way, but they have a lot of cooldowns. We've got Nature's Vigil, Renewal, we've got Might of Ursop, we've got fucking Shield Wall, we've got Frenzied Regen, we've got Savage Defense, and we have Barkskin. Barkskin is totally fucking amazing. Ask any PvPer. Barkskin is super awesome. Super amazingly awesome. Why? It's just flat damage reduction. It's beautiful. And it's on a really short cooldown. Okay. What our Guardian Druid here suffers from, mainly, is that he doesn't use any cooldown. At all. Besides Savage Defense. So we're going to let this play. He's not even tanking right now. There we go. We can see him tanking. And what you'll notice is he does have Savage Defense on 100 at the time. Now, I watched this whole video through. I watched every last aspect of this video. At no point did we use Barkskin at all. Didn't use it at all. We didn't use Berserk at all. We didn't use it at any point whatsoever. Which sucks. We used Bone Shield once. We had it on at the pull. We used it once again. We never used Nature's Vigil. We never used Renewal. We didn't use anything. Now, some people are going to be of the tanking impression that we save cooldowns for when we're going to die. We're going to save cooldowns for when we're going to die. That's what they're there for. Not when you have 11 billion cooldowns. That's just not how the game works. So what you'll find is although you're not going to die, okay, you're not going to die here. That's a given. It's LFR. If you die as a tank in LFR, you must have been wearing paper. Okay? You must have been kind of wearing paper or something like that. You're not going to die. That isn't the point. That's not how it works. It changes up. As a tank, our most important thing to remember is what the fuck does this fight do? Is there something that's going to kill me? When does it happen? That's all I need to know. And that's one of the reasons I kind of dislike tanking now. What is it that can kill me? When does it happen? That's kind of the limit of my knowledge base. I almost feel like a bad TBC DPSer. When do I need to pop a cooldown? Oh, okay, there it is. The rest of it I can do whatever I'm doing. So, we run into a situation where we're in sort of LFR or a different type of fight where that situation doesn't really pop up. We don't really have that moment of, this is when I need my cooldown. So what tanks tend to do, especially as they're getting into tanking, is they just don't use any. Alright? They just don't use a single fucking cooldown. And then they wonder, why am I taking so much more damage than everybody else? It's kind of an obvious thing. What we need to be doing, especially as a Guardian Druid, when we've got such short cooldowns, you've got your Bone Shield, you've got all these kind of things, is rotating these motherfuckers in and out. You need to rotate them constantly. Because you still have your Shield Wall available. That's still there. It's not going anywhere. Keep something ready. But you know there's nothing really major going to happen here. And get into the habit of rolling cooldowns all the time. We need to be rolling cooldowns. We didn't even use our troll racial, which kind of sucks. And it's always worth benefiting and knowing that as a Guardian Druid, if I keep calling it Feral Druid, if I keep calling it Feral Druid, I really apologise. That's the way it goes. Is our cooldowns are twofold. Why is that? Come on. Come on. You sexy people, you sexy people. What's the advantage of our big cooldowns? Anybody? No? No? Nobody? Nobody. Makes me sad. They're DPS cooldowns! Yay! Silver's got it. Our DPS cooldowns. We actually increase our mitigation by popping our cooldowns. Berserk grants us a shitload of rage. Ergo, we generate more defensive abilities from that. It's worth remembering that although these appear on the face of things to be DPS cooldowns, okay? DPS cooldowns, and survivability cooldowns, I should say. Oh, let me start again. Although on the face of this, they appear to be just DPS cooldowns, that DPS actively translates into more defense. All the time. We are basically in this situation when we play like this, and some of you will do this because you can't die. So you don't really do anything. You just kind of mull in front of the boss and you kind of drool away at what you're doing. Not that I'm saying that's what's happening here, because he's really trying, obviously. This is an LFR video. I'm not going to die here. As you can see, his health is not even moving. Let's see if we can get him to actually tank. That would make more sense. There. When he's actually tanking. Now, I see this moment here, where we're doing our ad, and we're away from the fight and we're not contributing to the boss damage. That's a berserk moment for me. That is a berserk moment for me. I want to be popping cooldowns. I want this thing out of the way. I want to get back into the fight. And I also want to generate more damage. I also want to generate more defense. I also just want to be less of a burden. Now, you don't feel like a burden sometimes as a tank. Tanking's kind of moved away from that, where you're kind of in a burdensome role that forces you to think about smoothing your damage out. Okay, I've got Savage Defense on all the time. It's pretty cool. But I have all these other cooldowns that I just never used. Try and think of it from the perspective of a DPSer. This boss that's on farm is going to die whether or not I pop my cooldowns or not. It's going to die. Does that mean you shouldn't use your DPS cooldowns? There is not a DPSer in this world that would not use his DPS cooldowns. Purely because the boss is going to die anyway. You are going to survive this fight. That's a given. That doesn't mean that we sit on the utilities that are given to us. We don't do that. We don't sit on our utilities. We've got all these resources, these juicy, juicy things. I don't. Scar doesn't. I don't use my cooldowns for anything, right? I don't use them. Yeah, our DPS is significant. Our DPS actively translates to better defense. All these things are good. Sitting there, Nature's Vigil provides great healing. We actually actively help the group. Guardian Druids are still stuck in an archaic, I'll say it's an archaic way of thinking, but they're still the most hybrid of hybrids out there. They really are. Druids in general are the most hybrid of hybrids remaining in the game. Shamans are a close second, but Druids really are almost full hybrids in the way they can affect the gameplay in really different roles. And that's superb. We should be taking advantage of that. We should be actively helping that. We should be doing everything. The way to spot a good Druid is if you get Savage Raw. It really is. You see a good Savage Raw, that's a Druid you want in your guild. Because that's someone who's thinking about supporting the group. About helping other people. And using their cooldowns not just to benefit themselves. So many Druids I see will gladly trug along with everybody else instead of popping just a Savage Raw and just getting us all there, which is all really helpful. It's all very cool. So although you did nothing wrong, we didn't do anything particularly right. We held aggro, we taunted our mob, we did all the things we were supposed to do, but then we wonder why we took so much extra damage when in fact we just sat on everything. You can see there, every single cooldown is available to us. Everything under the sun is just sitting and waiting for it to be used, which is really the big issue. If you're using a 20% damage reduction every minute or so, if you're dodging more, if you're using that bone shield, if you're putting out extra healing, you're berserking, so you're getting frenzied rejuves and savage defenses, what you're going to notice is a dramatic drop in damage taken. A huge drop, an enormous drop. That's what's going to happen. Right now, you're effectively just soaking the damage. And that's why your damage is high. It's not because you're in danger, but you're just soaking the damage. You're doing your job at a very basic level. what you need to be doing is, what I want you to take away from this workshop, is to be actively thinking about, hey, does this fight have something where I could die? Is that going to happen? Therefore, I need a cooldown for that period. If you don't, start rotating your cooldowns efficiently, and you'll notice a much smoother damage intake, which is the sex. That's the glory hole. That's where you want to stick it and have a big smile on your face. A little thing I wanted to bring up here is at 5 and 35. Yeah. This is that position that we're often in as tanks, especially in the current way of the game, is we're about to taunt. We're about to taunt. We're going to do it. Somebody at my door. But the show will go on. We're about to taunt. We're in that situation. It's going to happen. We're about to taunt. Like Ben is about to... He just prepared to taunt me. Okay? He prepared to taunt me. That's okay. What we want to do is have all our resources ready. Why? Because when we taunt the boss, shitty things happen. Healers, especially in LFR, don't know who the fuck is tanking what. Okay. We're good. Healers in LFR have no idea who's tanking what. I almost guarantee this. Every healer video I generally get sent from LFR, nobody knows who's tanking what. They have no fucking idea whatsoever. So they're just AoE spamming. So when you taunt, there might be one healer who has a clue, who knows who's tanking, and doesn't pick up on it straight away. We always prepare for the worst case scenario. That is the way we play the game. When you're about to taunt, you need to be ready to taunt. You need to pop something. You need to use something. So many times I see tanks die in LFR or raids because they taunted and they just kind of went, oh, it's 4 stacks on the other guy. I need to taunt now. Ooh! And they taunt and then suddenly they're on their ass. And that's no good. So we come to here. And the DK is tanking it. We're just using up all our rage. We're using all our rage up, and we're still getting ready. And then when we actually taunt, we just don't have anything ready. We don't have a goddamn thing. And then we taunt away there. We're down to half rage. And then it's going to take us a couple of hits before we do anything. Then we get our savage defense on, and then we start taking things. Now, luckily, this boss hits like a wet bag of shit. Okay? But in a normal raid scenario, you need to be ready to pop something and all those things. That was the only other thing I noticed. Gameplay-wise, you're doing okay. You're doing fine. We need to just use our cooldowns. We need to think about that. All right. Next up. Let's do the Frost Mage. Yeah. Frost Mage. We're going to be looking at a Frost Mage who is currently maining a priest. Maining a priest. And he wants to switch to a Frost Mage because the Frost Mage isn't the best in his guild. And he wants to switch over. But he wants to make sure that when he does switch, it's not to the detriment of the guild. Now, Frost Mage is amazing right now because, one, their DPS is great, and they are very, very reliable. Their DPS is almost super consistent. Unlike Fire, which needs top-end gear to reach consistency, a Frost Mage is just consistent throughout. It's just the way the spec works. Reliable procs, very regular play, all pretty good. Now, we're going to look at the UI first. Yeah. UI time. Booyah! Drink it in. Let me know what you think. Let me move to the pull, which is about there. Yep. Off we go. Good UI. It's the same, not quite. Dat Omen. Where's your Omen, bro? You're not even trying. We've got the Omen. Just showing the top 2 in near enough every fight that requires 2 tanks. Grid's too big for a mage? I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say. Sexy UI? Is it though? Is it? Is it? Something's missing. Something's missing that's going to cause us a little bit of an issue. Compared to mine. Tell me when it's retarded. This MSBT. This sucks. This add-on. Now I use this add-on, but I don't use that. This sucks. And if you're using this to track regular spells, you're going to have a bad time. You're going to have a bad time. You're going to have a really bad time. We're not tracking any of our regular things like Frostbomb. We're not tracking it in any way. In fact, what we're relying on is this notification. This notification. Yes, I use MSBT and I turn this off. I turn this off. It's not a good thing. It's a bad thing. We're going to see why in the video. We're going to be looking at this. This notification system is really not ideal. Because one, it appears and then it disappears. Okay, it appears, then it disappears, and it kind of lasts too long. And also, we can miss it pretty regularly. We can miss this notification. It doesn't last very long. As you can see, I'm going to let it come up again. Wait for it. The frozen orb ready now. Go, go, go. Did we not even get the notification? Ah! That was perfect. That was perfect. We didn't even get the notification that time because we got the frozen orb one instead. We didn't even get it. That's a big problem because what happened? Let's watch that again very quickly. Go back. Frozen orb was off cooldown for several seconds. Frozen orb is our key DPSer, okay? It's our key DPS message. And we got the frozen orb on. Rubbish. And it's no good. Our frozen bomb, our frost bomb, I should say our frost bomb, which we need to keep on cooldown all the time, was just left unattended for a few seconds. Now, there's many people using this add-on. In fact, I got maybe 4 or 5 videos where this particular add-on was actually causing problems. Because what happens is if you miss that notification for whatever reason, the only way you know this spell is off cooldown is by checking your bars, which are right at the bottom of your screen. They're here. His frozen orb is around here. All this stuff gets missed all the time. Notifications about important spells need to be in good eyeline. They need to be in good eyeline. You have to have them there because what happens is it sucks. So we're going to take this from the beginning of the fight. I think we have a particularly sucky pull as well, which never helps. Yeah, so you can see we actually pulled there. We're not really ready for the pull. Here we are, we're getting ready. There's the pull, and we spend a few seconds running in. Oh my god, fire the frozen orb, and then we get started. We don't want to do that particularly. We don't want to do that. Is have that sucky pull where we're running in and doing stuff. Now, I want to say, awesome stuff. Every time this chappy here gets that instant cast spell, he fucking moves like that. You can see there when he gets the Frostfire Bolt proc, he goes off moving. Now, it's 50% of the way to being a good player. You don't have to do it all the time. You don't have to do it all the time. What you do is when you get an instant cast proc, you're like, fuck yeah! Like diving fucking Shogun army. You're doing stuff all over the fucking place. You're just throwing stuff. I've got instant cast procs. I'm going to run. You're running when you haven't got anywhere to go. Or you don't know where you're supposed to be going. You've no idea. You're just moving for the sake of moving. You want to move? I'm going to move. 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 Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go at all. We're just moving around, which is really interesting. It's almost there, but when we do use the ability to do, you can see there, instant cast, doing the little dance, making a little love. We do this instant cast movement. It needs to be for a reason. Where are we trying to get to? Now, this fucking sucks. This should not have happened. Worst Bloodlust ever. Boss 80%. Classic LFR fucking Bloodlust, right? Biggest waste of time in the universe. You can prevent this happening. You're a mage. You decide the Bloodlust. If you think your group is even remotely retarded, you decide the Bloodlust. I do. Ideally, we want to save it for the third guy, right? But no, it's not going to happen. It's LFR. In LFR, we just go ahead and we Bloodlust when the boss is at 80% and all our cooldowns have run out. It's awesome, right? Best time to Bloodlust ever. Oh, you're the mage. You have Bloodlust. If mages and shamans out there, please, for the love of God, in your LFRs, you do the Bloodlusting. If you've watched my channel, please you do the Bloodlusting. You know when it's best to use it. I've gone over it a million times. You do it, okay? Be the ballers. Be the ballers. You're the Bloodlust machines. Don't let some retard come into your LFR and start doing this. Because that's fucked up. That's fucking goofy. Oh, no cooldowns up. Now we're going to Bloodlust, right? That's no good. We don't want to do that. Okay. So we get into the fight, and everything's looking pretty good. We're actually going to do super fucking awesome DPS. It's not too bad whatsoever. It's we're actually pretty cool. Now we're going to run into a couple of issues. One is this notification I told you about now. This notification royally screws us up because when we miss it, which is pretty regularly, when we miss it, it actually goes on delay. And I noticeably spotted that you were having to check at the bottom of your screen in order to make sure you were doing that. Now this fight obviously on LFR is no big deal, but later on fights that's really going to make you struggle. It's one of the reasons we're going to look at the Hunter. And we don't really want to do that at all. You cannot do that. Please set up some tell me whens and disable that MSBT. It's screwing you up. It's screwing you up really badly. So we see Frost Orb delayed. Mirror Images gets used eventually. That pull was kind of shitty. That's okay. No big deal. Now, the other thing I want to... What's the main advantage of being a Frost Mage? It's kind of one of the main advantages to being any kind of mage. But Frost Mages have an amazing advantage over most other classes. Not only do mages have dramatically awesome movement skills, we have instant casts pretty regularly, especially if we're using things like Nether Tempest. And we also have Blink. Moving for a mage is a breeze. It's no big deal. We can do whatever the fuck we want. We can move easily without losing DPS. The best thing about Frost Mages is the ability to bank your instant cast spells. Some mages in the chat, I'm sure there are. I'm sure we've got some awesome mages here. When we get a Frost Bomb detonation, we get Brain Freeze. I think it's called Brain Freeze, where we get the instant cast Frost Firebolt. When is the next time that's going to proc? How long have we got? There's an even better question. When is the next time we are going to get a Brain Freeze proc? Proc. 8 seconds later. Yep. It's going to happen at the end of the next Frost Bomb. Frost Bomb, if you're using it, guarantees a Brain Freeze proc. Every single time. Guarantees it. The good thing as well about having Fingers of Frost, something your ladies love and adore, is that we stack it twice. And we can bank instant casts. We can bank them. Much like a Fire Mage can actually bank Pyroblasts. We can bank instant cast Pyroblasts. And we can bank Fingers of Frost. We can bank them. As long as we don't have two sitting there, therefore a proc is wasted, then we can let the other one ride. And we know how long it's going to last, so we don't waste it. We can let it ride. And that allows us to do some super awesome stuff when we want it. Unlike a Shadow Priest, who has only a few opportunities to move and not lose DPS, such as refreshing Shadow Word Pain, there's an opportunity to move. I have that global cooldown to move wherever I want. A Frost Mage can dictate when it wants to do it. A Frost Mage can say, oh, I have something to do soon. I can bank these spells so I don't lose any DPS whatsoever. Magnifique. Magnifique. So that's going to happen to us about 320. I hate this fight in LFR, by the way. It lasts so fucking long and it shouldn't. Oh, it sucks. Right, what's going to happen? Finger banging. That's a bit rush. That's a bit rough. What's going to happen here? We all know what's going to happen. Be aware that the Pet Frost no longer works on bosses. Which sucks. He's not getting the buff. No. Pull threat. No, he's got it on Omen. He's fine. He's fine. His Omen's telling him he's good. Lightning Storm. Van is like a boss. Lightning Storm's coming, right? Lightning Storm's about to happen. Lightning Storm is no fucking problem for a Frost Mage. Frost Mages just go Lightning Storm. It's not even going to stop me doing my normal damage. It's an irrelevant spell to a Frost Mage and other classes as well. And you should bear that in mind. Because what we can actually do is, like we said, we can bank spells. So what actually happens is, Lightning Storm in 1 second, is we had nothing ready. There we go. We've got an Ice Lance ready. And we've got a Frost Firebolt. We have 2 instant cast spells ready. A baller says, I need to move in a minute. I'm just going to save these 2 spells. And when I have to move, I'm just going to fire these motherfuckers off, and I'm never going to lose DPS. Fuck you. Fuck everybody else. Fuck melee who have to run out. Fuck anybody else who has to move. I can just save these and just be happy as Larry. If we're not too great and we're a little bit inexperienced, what we do is we fire these off because we're like, oh my god, I've got instant cast, I need to fire them straight away. Which is kind of what happens. So you can see, there goes the Frost Firebolt. There goes the Ice Lance. Now comes Lightning Storm, and oh, we're doing the derpy retard dance. Oh no. We're doing the derpy retard dance, and then we get back to casting. We lose 4 or 5 seconds of DPS every time we do that. And we're also doing the dance every time we get instant cast, which is always good to see. If we're going to do the DPS dance, we're going to do the derpy DPS dance, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Too much dancing. You got your dancing shoes on. I can't remember this. I'm going to look like a noob now. I did this fight like 7 times on my fucking Fire Mage the other day to film the combustion video. I've blinked out of that like 50 times. But I think you're still stunned afterwards. Am I right? I almost feel like you are. I almost feel like you are. When you get Lightning Prison, you can blink it, but you're still stunned. I think. I can't remember. No? No to what? Yes? We do. Yeah, unless you get dispelled. You can blink it into the group, lol. It restuns you. I knew I was right. Fuck all of you who said no, Mr. Delore. I knew I was right. I knew there was a reason I didn't care that this happened. I knew there was a reason. I just wanted to double check. Because he never tried to blink it, but yeah, there we go. Okay, so no big deal. Getting dispelled. He actually got dispelled in LFR. Sweet. Sweet as a nut. I was talking to Arash. Hey, I was talking to Arash. I defend myself every single day. And off we go again. Now we get another lightning storm, and it happens again here. So we didn't really learn from our mistake. Here's lightning storm. There we go. We got the frostfire bolt ready. We also got an ice lance ready. Got another ice lance, and we moved in, fired them off, stayed still. Oh, it wasn't that one. That's okay. That's okay. But we do it again on another lightning storm, which is important. Remember, you can bank your spells. Really, remember you can bank them. It's so important, and it just trivializes so many mechanics. It really does. If you can move and not lose DPS, trivializes so much. It really, really does. It trivializes it so easy, which is pretty good. Okay. Only thing to take away from there is consider not rushing your spells. Your DPS is fine. Control the Bloodlust if you're in an LFR, but that's not going to affect you in raiding, obviously. But really consider that when you move, you can bank things. No need to rush. A lot of people see procs, and sometimes they're right. You need to rush them. Like a Shield Slam proc, I want to get rid of that and get it back off cooldown. When it's things that you know aren't going to reproc for a certain amount of time, or you have stacks of them, like the Ice Lance, okay? One is fine. No need to get rid of the one because another one can come and we haven't lost the first one. Is take your time and think about what's going on in the encounter. Really think about it. Okay. I want to move on to the biggie, the Hunter. Now our Hunter in this video. We're going to be looking at Durumu, or Durumu, as he is always in mine. No offense, but I feel thirsty. Oh, you guys are heroes. We're going to be looking at Durumu, and we're going to be looking at a Hunter who used to top the DPS in all his fights. He used to be the absolute super gangster. He was a hero among many, and now he's moved to a better guild. Oh, we're the awesome. We're the awesome, the super fucking awesome. Then I moved to a better guild, and now I'm no longer the awesome. That kind of sucks, right? That kind of sucks. So we're in that situation in this one, and he's not sure why. Now he workshopped himself. He workshopped himself, and he thought I'm pretty much doing everything correctly. I can't actually see what the big issue is. I've tried workshopping it, but perhaps I could see something. Now I know that some of you hunters, like Mr. Lambretta, are chomping at the bit to watch our Hunter in action. I'm going to let this play a little bit. Now the reason for that is there is one problem with our Hunter. Just one. A couple of minor things. One of them is the UI. I'm not going to pre-warn you. The UI does bother me a little bit, but we'll talk about that soon. But there's one... Is it Torin? There is one issue with how our friend plays that is causing him problems now he's moved up in the ranks. It's one of those problems that's not too much of a big deal while we're lower in the lower guilds, while we're just mid-level. But as we move up, it actually starts to become a major problem. I'll be interested if you guys can spot it, actually. I'm going to move to... Let me find where else it is. I'm going to play it from here because it's funny. It's a clicker? Nope. Okay, off we go. So we'll talk about the UI while we get to the point where maybe you can consider this. Maybe we can see what our big problem is. I'll be glad if any of you can work out what the notifications are there. Took me a second. Get Lambretta all over it. Lambretta's all over it. I'll find it. UI's fine. Okay. UI's fine from Glera. World's worst UI from Ghosty. It's an orc. Is he Swedish? Maybe. Maybe he's Swedish. Right. Can you spot the problem? The problem is about to be very apparent.
Beware.
Oh, Sco's. Sco's UI. Yeah, I would do a workshop on Sco.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
Oh, we've got audio. Oh my god.
Beware.
Let's mute that. Anybody picking it up? Too much text, no taste boards. No cooldown tracker, healing, pet, no. No. No recount, no omen. Don't worry about the pet for now. Not enough swag, murder of crows, no. Where's the maze? The maze might give it away. Gaze. Oh, I'm going to show you exactly where it's noticeable. It's going to show it right there. Show you one more time. Ninja Pandas nails it. Keyboard turner. Motherfucker. You have no idea, my friend, how much this is fucking goofing you up. And it's really annoying me because you're actually a pretty good player. You're actually a pretty good player. Oh no! This is Ariestic. Oh no! Keyboard turning is actually fucking you so hard. It's prison rules. It is prison rules up in this bitch. You're actually a really good player. Keyboard turning and it fucks you up. I said clicker, it's the same thing. Unless you're trying to click your keyboard with your mouse, which is next level fail. Keyboard turning is actually completely fucking you. In fact, overall, not just keyboard turning, any form of movement is really destroying you very badly. Very, very badly. But we'll get into that in a second. I just want to talk about this UI briefly. This is one of the type of UIs I just literally don't understand. Now, I know some top players use this kind of UI. See if I can get the bottom bar to disappear, if you would be so kind, Mr. Media Player. It's this... all these buttons kind of spread out at the bottom with gaps in and spread all over your screen. It literally baffles my head how people play with this kind of UI. Because it is so distracting in my eyes to have all the buttons not only really small, but also spread out across various bars. Now, I know that on the right-hand side, we've got sort of longish cooldowns and potions and things we don't really need to worry about. We've got things like distracting shot over there. That's no big deal. But our important stuff is actually really, really small. Things like explosive shot, black arrow. As you can see, black arrow just sits there for a few seconds. Readiness, rapid fire. All these things kind of sit in this really small little area. And it's not anywhere near our vision, in fact. It's really not anywhere near our vision whatsoever. And it boggles me. Because I can guarantee you 150%. Yeah, I went there. 150%. I can guarantee you that when you start moving, which is already a problem, that you will completely fuck up all your DPS. Which is a crying shame because hunters never lose DPS while moving. Never. That's next level. That's next level. We can't do that. We can't do that. We can't have our focus shifted all the way to the bottom of our screen. We can't shoegaze, okay? I kind of call it shoegazing. You know super mega nerds? We're mega nerds, right? But then you get super mega nerds and they're shoegazers. They seem obsessed with where they're walking, you know? And they never look forwards. They never look up. They don't look where they're going. They never seem to understand that there is like an upwards view. It's just a down view of the floor and their feet, and they just shuffle around places. And it's really annoying to see people do that. And that's kind of what this is, because our vision is just it's just at the bottom of the screen. It sucks balls. It sucks balls. So when we get to the maze, oh dear, So what happens is, the big problem is when you're standing still, you're actually pretty fine. Pretty fine. You run into the usual things that any hunter in the world will run into. Is lock and load kind of... we're not really ready for a lock and load proc, so we didn't quite have enough energy, or focus I should say, to pull off the explosive shot after it. But every hunter in the world runs into that pretty much every now and again. I could be picky about that and say, well, you know, you casted Black Arrow, so you should expect lock and load to proc and things like that. I would also point out that we have no focus on the boss to keep Serpent Sting up. It's always nice to be throwing out either a Cobra Shot or a Serpent Sting, even if we're killing ads, just to keep that damage up. You should be more than fine doing that. You respond super, super well. Actually respond super, super well to anything on you. There's your Lingering Graze, doing some backpedaling like a boss, but you go and leave it in a decent position, and you keep your DPS up. Keep your DPS up, no big deal at all. Take another position. So you're absolutely fine, popping your lock and loads. This is what was really sad. You're actually a decent player. Actually a really decent player, which is good. It's good. It means you only got something little to work on, and you're really going to start seeing the numbers. Now, at the moment, you are averaging about 100k DPS. Here comes the Disintegration Beam. Now, everybody kind of pay attention to this. Disintegration Beam. Now, look how you move for Disintegration Beam. Do you see this? Motherfuckers, okay? I know you're in there, and I know you're not going to admit to it. You died to Durumu. When Disintegration Beam comes, it's so easy. Move to where the beam casts, see where it's spawning from, and then move to there. It's really easy, okay? Let me go back. Let me go back. Everyone freaks out when this thing happens. Disintegration Beam is there, right? Move to it, because it doesn't instantly one-shot kill you. That's not the way it works. You see the whole raid moving. See where it starts spawning. Oh, it's spawning from there. It's going round, so this is the safe spot. So fucking easy. It's so easy. So easy. There's the beam. It's going around that way. I'm going to go stand over there. Why didn't you disengage over? It's just one of those things. It's fine. Hunters don't lose DPS, so it doesn't matter. A hunter can walk around all day. Anybody who watches me stream a hunter will see me just walk around constantly. You don't lose DPS. It's fine. It's maybe you want to disengage if you're in an emergency, but why? No point. You can stroll on over. You're going to be fine. Very easy. Come on now. I want everyone to watch this. How do you Durumu? There's the beam. Look, I can't make it simpler than that. Stand in the beam. Where's the black stuff or purple? Run to it. And you're safe. You're safe as houses. Easy, easy. Now what we're going to see is how badly the movement goes. We're currently at 100k DPS on our hunter. I know you can't see the damage meter, but we're at a solid 100k. Our DPS is about to plummet. Our DPS is about to go from 100k way off the charts. Exactly the opposite that should happen as a hunter when it's a big movement phase. In fact, when you're a hunter and it's a big movement phase, you are hashtag winning. Because it doesn't bother you in the fucking least. Oh, everybody has to move now? Lol at everybody else. Because it doesn't bother me at all. As a hunter, I could just troll face this entire fucking fight. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You actually go further ahead than everybody else, mostly. Unless it's some cheesy demo lock who's just spamming his #1 ability. Fucking arcane demo locks. But watch what happens. Watch the cooldowns. Pay particular attention to Explosive Shot and Glaive Toss. Fervor. Glaive Toss still not used. There's the Fervor. Still no Glaive Toss. Explosive Shot. Black Arrow sitting there now. Capping our focus like a boss. Still no Black Arrow. There we go. Still no Glaive Toss used. Explosive Shot chilling. Yeah, focused on not dying. Focused on not dying. It's a double fail. One, our UI, where we find out when our shit's not on cooldown, is down at the bottom of our screen. Where can't we look during the Durumu maze? Down at the bottom of the screen. This is why the Tell Me When video I made you is actually so crucial to really maximizing your DPS. Because it trivializes all this shit. It comes up exactly where you're already looking. You can't miss it. You can't miss it. That's the whole point of doing disappearing Tell Me Whens right in the middle of your screen that are just gone whenever they're off cooldown. And in fact, when you're doing moments like this and you're moving around, the fact that it pops up makes you want to get rid of it. Oh, Black Arrow, get out of the way. I'm watching where I'm going. Explosive shot, just get the fuck out of the way. I'm watching what I'm doing. Glaive toss, get out of the way. And it's so much better than any other system out there. I don't care what add-on you use to do it, but it's vital because when this happens, we lost all our DPS. We lost everything. Our DPS fell down to complete nothingness. And we don't want to do that. We really don't want to do that. So we're going to look at the next maze. There's a really good ending to this one. Thank you, Zifika. Zifika telling it like it is. Stop preaching, man. You're preaching too hard. Preaching it too much. Disintegration beam coming. Let's watch what happens on this one. Lingering gaze. Nicely disengages out. Good. So you play really well. You play as well as can be expected. For this level of rating, playing fine. Move towards the beam. See where it's spawning from. Where are you? Oh, it's spawning over there. Let's go over there. Very, very fucking easy. Backpedaling hunters are fine in PvE. It's no big deal. Really is no big deal. It's pretty good. Let's go on. And now we get ready again. Now let's watch these cooldowns. Now we've thrown kill shot into the mix. And we also got a murder of crows. We've also got a rapid fire. Rapid fire I'm not too bothered about. Maybe not even murder of crows, actually. Not particularly bothered about any of those things. Firing off the glaive toss. Oh, that lock and load. Helpful. Helpful, helpful. Didn't do too badly on this one. I think you're leading the charge, which kind of made you more comfortable. Oh, in fact, you had such a wide open space, you were much more comfortable. You can actually see when he's got the big wide open space how much more comfortable he is. So much more comfortable. We just let our explosive shots slack, and then we did this kind of weird run where we just stopped doing anything. Then we got back on top of the DPS. And then we got back into a nice DPS race. Now, I'm just going to play this till the end. I'm going to play this till the end because it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. I don't see the point in that rapid fire graphic. It looks cool. I'm not exactly sure the point of it. That HUD rapid fire thing. It looks nice. I'm not really sure of the point of it. Oh, everybody dead. I love that. I love that. Let's watch it again. It's all good. I love how far you fly. Oh, no! No! It's all going badly. Oh! Boom! Get shit on. Get shit on. Get shit on. Yeah. All good. All good. Wonderful stuff, okay? Wonderful stuff. And he's out of there. Get out of here, Hunter. Get out of here. Hunter not DPSing while he's moving. Pfft, do one. Yeah, big issue with moving there. One, the keyboard turning. Let's get rid of that, right? Our keyboard fingers for killing things. It's my killing hand. Unless you ghost. Unless you ghost. Killing hand. Moving hand. And wanking hand. Because sometimes we don't need to move. So you can jerk off and you can still kill things. All good. Other than that, really sort out that UI. Same for the other guy. We used the MSBT there as well. It's the same add-on, I think, that pops up things like explosive shot. Yes, it does. I'll just show you this here. It was actually the same add-on again. This is what we're relying on. You're actually relying on this. Did I wank on Ultraxion? Dude, I knitted a fucking sweater and wrote a novel during Ultraxion. What a shit fight. Yeah, we're relying on this add-on again. The same thing. The same fucking thing. We're relying on it all the time. It sucks. It really does. If you miss that because you're doing something like the maze, then yeah, definitely. It's no good. It's no good. It's fine if you're relaxed because you can look around the screen, you can do whatever you want. But set up something. That's the whole point I did that kind of video. It really helps, and this is where it proves that it helps. Because you would just not fall into this trap. You wouldn't do it. Let's solve that keyboard turning. That's today's workshop for you. Oh, tidied up quite nicely, actually. 10-2. That worked out pretty well. Coming up tomorrow, we've got another daily. We're going to be discussing a little bit of an interesting subject tomorrow. But I'm going to save it for then. I want to see some on the spur. And then we have some drama on Friday. Drama on Friday, which should be really good. I hope you enjoyed the workshop. If you wish to submit to the workshop, all you have to do is send me your YouTube video to workshop@preachgaming.com. And send me some notes that go along with it, and I will try and address those things specifically. I'll point out anything else I think is worth mentioning, but I'll focus on those mainly and see if we can help that. I'm going to be streaming some games in the next 10 minutes. Okay, it has been an hour, so I'm just going to get myself a fresh drink. My drink's kind of getting a little bit old, and then I'm going to be streaming again. So those of you who are raiding this evening or doing something else, I hope you have a good time. And if you're raiding, I hope you get some swag loots. I hope I did something there that can help you out. Alright, guys. So that is the end of the workshop. I will see you in a few minutes, and it shall be pretty good. I will be streaming up until ghost streams, so you have streams all evening. Streams all evening. I'll see you in a few minutes.